Coupes are sexy. Sloping roof lines, a sleek overall design, wide pronounced fenders, they just look purposeful.
But if you wanted a Mercedes-Benz in India with a coupe body style, you really didn't have much of an option. You had the E-Class coupe a few years ago, which of course isn't offered anymore in the new generation E-Class in India. You do have the S-Class coupe and the AMG GT range, which of course is extremely expensive, well over 2 crores. But if you wanted something around, say 50, 60 lakh rupees, you really never had an option. Now, very soon you will, because Mercedes-Benz India has heard the cries of that Indian public, which do really want a coupe which is affordable. Well, affordable in that general sense of Mercedes-Benz range, and they are going to launch the C-Coupe in India. They do have the sedan, which is one of their highest selling cars in India after the E-Class. They do have that cabrio, which does actually really well, considering the fact that it is a niche product. And now to complete that body range, they will get the coupe to India in a multiple engine option variant. You have the C300, which is the one we're driving today. There might also be a C43 and a C63S coupe to take on that crazy Audi RS5 which has been launched just recently. So let's get behind the wheel, see what this feels like. And of course, this is not just a C coupe, it's also the facelift. So double whammy in that sense there.
The updates for the C-Class facelift for this, the 4th generation, is actually quite a bit less drastic on the exterior as compared to what the previous generation C-Classes have gone through. You now get these almost alien-like LED headlamp units that give the C-Class an extremely purposeful look and sportier too. That single slat diamond grille that has become so popular due to the likes of the A-Class and the CLA also now comes as standard if you choose the AMG package. But this is a whole new body style for India. And take a step back and look at it. Isn't that gorgeous? When compared to the sedan, the coupe is lower, has a raked windshield and feels slightly wider due to those pronounced fenders. The roofline slopes into the boot lid very gracefully and the rear fenders are nicely pronounced to make even those 19-inch AMG spec wheels look smaller than they are. Around the rear you get the distinct design that Mercedes-Benz is using on all its coupes. The horizontally stacked tail lamps and the chrome accents in between them. Although this is the entry-level C300, it is also the optional AMG line package, so you do get nicer bumpers, those AMG wheels and that grille. The car is also available in the standard basic, avant-garde and exclusive line, but we don't think any of those will make it to India for the coupe. And it's not just the design on the outside that screams sex appeal and makes you feel special, the interior too has gone through the same transformation.
There was actually a whole bunch of space in the C-Class coupe, especially considering the fact that this is a much smaller car as compared to the sedan. Now you've got these big comfortable seats up front which have a cooled function, and that is on right now, and you've got a heated function too. And you've got 2 smaller seats at the back, making it a 2+2, very conventional coupe style for Mercedes-Benz in particular. But those rear seats are best suited for children, especially not suited for adults as large as I am. Unless you have really tiny feet, then you might be able to fit in the back. But the big change, the big upgrade in this car is actually the difference which all new C-Class facelifts have. The interior has now gotten even better. C-Class always had a really nice interior to begin with. Now they've added a whole bunch of new tech, making it a really nice place to be. So for example, you get all these really lovely brushed sort of aluminium textured finishes all around the car, especially in this particular version, which makes it look really nice. A new steering wheel as well, again with that brushed aluminium finish all over. You have a little touchpad on the steering wheel, which is very similar to the BlackBerry touchpads that you had back in the mid-2000s actually. Similar technology, haptic touch. And you've got the big new digital dial display, which is now upgraded from the old analog dials to the new ones, completely digital and really cool. Lovely set of graphics too. Infotainment too has been upgraded. You now have Apple CarPlay finally in the C-Class, which is a great thing. And in particular the C-Class Coupe, again with this lovely panoramic roof that sort of closes or opens at a touch of a button. But it's a really nice place to be. And remember, you can really spec it out to whatever you like. This one is spec'd with a red paint job on the outside and a simple black leather interior on the inside. But we've seen some other cars with a white paint job and red interior, and that looks really, really cool. And it is an option, so you can actually go ahead and do it. Now, driving around on rural German roads is always a treat because you get treated to sceneries and vistas like that through my window, which is absolutely beautiful. It is the Mosel Valley that I'm driving into now. And of course, you do get a variety of road conditions too, because you have cobblestone streets in rural areas, which have been around for decades and even centuries in some cases. And then you have lovely swooping windy roads like this. And then you have the brilliant autobahns, which all of us Indian automotive journalists love, because we do get to max these cars out, these lovely cars out, and without a worry about being pulled over by the cops or speed cameras catching us. That's always a great thing. But that said, let's get back to this car. Now, this is the C300, which I mentioned earlier. We will get a whole bunch of engine options in this in India. We might get the C43 and the C63 in particular, which will be more exciting to the folks that can actually afford those AMGs. But this one is the most affordable. It'll be sort of entry-level C-Class Coupe, if you can call it that. And my guess should be priced around about 55, 60, maybe slightly higher than that. But definitely cheaper than the convertible because, well, even in the other markets like Europe, this car is slightly cheaper than the convertible and is placed perfectly between the sedan and that soft-top cabriolet. That said, the engine is now a little bit more powerful than what you got on the cabriolet. So it makes about 10 horsepower more. Torque is about the same, and it still is that 4-cylinder turbo 4, which is great because it gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you that great power delivery, and it also gives you a lovely fuel economy figure, which even in cars like this is something that, well, you can actually enjoy. That said, the audio system still streams that exhaust note, which is quite annoying, but well, it's better than having just a drone of the engine and no exhaust note at all, so I'll live with that.
The engine makes 255 bhp of peak power and 370 Nm of torque, which is perfect for an application where all the car really needs to do is make you feel like a rock star. But it does get a move on if you want it to. 0 to 100 takes 6.2 seconds, and the top speed, like with all German cars, is limited to 250 km per hour. We did get to test that on the Autobahn, legally, and we are pleased to report that it does those speeds rather effortlessly. The C300 is available as a rear-wheel drive on some markets as the 4MATIC all-wheel drive. India will only get the standard rear-wheel drive model, just like this car that I drove. The C-Class Coupe will also get an AMG version in India. This will include the C43, which is the all-wheel drive, twin-turbo, 385 bhp and 520 Nm V6 engine-equipped car that makes it from 0 to 100 in a blistering 4.7 seconds. Talking about price, the C-Class C300 Coupe will be priced between the sedan and the cabrio. As I mentioned earlier, I thought the price would be between 55 to 60 lakhs, but considering the fact that the sedan prices end at 55 lakh rupees ex-showroom today, and the cabrio is priced at 75 lakh rupees, a more conservative guess to this would actually be closer to the 70 lakh rupee mark. The C43 on the other hand would be closer to the 1 crore mark. Expect both these cars to be launched sometime later this year, ready in time for the festive season, and while it is a niche, expect other manufacturers like BMW and Audi to follow with the 4 Series and the standard A5 Coupe to ensure a fair share of the coupe pie.